So as mentioned before, we are moving away from treating object as a single small unit, but we are going to look at the structure, we're going to look at how we are applying the force and how it makes things move, right? That's what we are moving on to. So when we're talking about this, one thing that comes by default is center of mass. So basically, center of mass, like let's look at the basic idea. When we attempt to balance an object, say on a fingertip, there's one specific point at which you can do so without the object tipping over. This point is known as center of mass. It represents the average position of all the stuff that makes up the object. So this very definition is your formula. That's it. That two line over there, or a single line actually, that is the basic thing about center of mass. So we will see this in many forms using summation symbol, using your derivatives, limits and derivative ideas, and we'll apply it in different position. But you need to understand that center of mass is nothing but an average position of all the stuff that makes up the object. If you keep that in mind, you'll pretty much be able to handle any kind of numerical. Now, official definition of center of mass, it represents the average position of all the parts of the system weighted according to their masses. The center of mass of a system of particle moves as if all the mass of the system was concentrated at the center of mass and all the external forces were applied at that point. So again, based on all of this, we will be deriving actually. Okay, so that will lead to the formulas and derivation. Now, how do you find the center of mass? So this is a hit and check method. That's what I like to do. So basically what we're doing over here is center of mass of a system of particle is that single point which moves in the same way in which a single particle, having the total mass of the system and acted upon by the same external force would move. Okay, of course all these are words, but it will make sense if you see it. So I have a pencil, right? So it's not a single object now. We're not talking about, okay, I'm applying 10 Newton of force. It's not that. So just make your observation. You also please try doing it. Okay, yeah, I keep doing that. So point is, see, what you have to observe, or I hope you guys observed. So what is the difference between me hitting over here, for example, and me hitting the pencil over here? So what is the difference in motion? Let me be more specific. What is the difference in motion? And here, yeah, what is the difference in motion? So in this case, the object or the pencil, it kind of moved straight, right? Can you see that? It moved straight. All of the part of the pencil, whatever the pencil is made up of, they moved as a single. In both the cases, they moved as a single unit, but everything moved straight ahead. But in this case, some of them are moving back, some of them moving forward, right? Is it not? So in this case, they were moving the parts of the pencil, whatever the pencil is made up of, the parts were moving in a different way. And the point wherein I hit, right? So the point wherein I hit and made the pencil move straight. So if I try to balance that at that point, what happens? It's balanced. Well, if I try to balance it at any other point, for example, the point wherein I'm making the object rotate over there, right? If I try to balance over there, what happens? It falls. Yeah, this is something that you guys have done it, and this is something that we are making use of. So you can find the center of mass, okay, by doing this. So if I hit at that point, now you can read this and it makes more sense. The center of mass of system of particle is that single point which moves in the same way in which a single particle having the total mass of system and acted upon by the same external force would move. Now, way 2 is balance and check. If a single force acts on a body and the line of action of the force passes through the center of mass, the body will have only linear acceleration and no angular acceleration, right? This we saw. So angular acceleration has to do with something rotating. Let's keep it simple. It won't rotate, basically. That's what it means. So if I hit exactly at the center of mass, object won't rotate. That we saw over here. Okay, so that's it. So that's about your center of mass. We'll derive a lot of derivations. A lot of formulas, and there are a lot of variations. But yeah, the funda is this. These 2 slides are your basic idea.